Mexico's deputy trade minister is now suggesting their government will not ratify the CUSMA deal unless the tariffs on aluminum and steel are lifted. That's now raising questions about whether this could give Canada added leverage to make the same demand. Joining us this morning with more is international trade lawyer Mark Warner. Good to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Mexico nor the U.S. have appeared to release any reports tying the ratification of NAFTA to the dropping of the tariffs, NAFTA or CUSMA or USMCA, whichever letters you want to use. What can we take away from that? Is this ultimately just posturing?
I think so. I think we're at the point of this where, Congress is discussing it in the United States. There's a business lobby that's opposed to, that's in favor of lifting the aluminum and steel tariffs before USMCA is passed. And I think that there are different voices that are coming from Mexico and from Canada in support of that. This particular story was, as far as I can see, only sourced in Canada, which is an odd thing for a quotation from a Mexican minister.
International deal.
So I'm a bit skeptical that this is actually the Mexican position. But it's not surprising that we would hear. This is in Canada. We heard our minister, Marc Garneau, make some comments, similar comments a couple of weeks ago. We really haven't heard that from the Prime Minister. We did see this threat before last fall, but we ended up signing the agreement anyway. So my thinking is that...
To a lot of criticism.
To a lot of criticism. But on the other hand, I think this is just normal posturing. As long as it doesn't get out of hand, that's okay.
Well, let's talk about that. Is it a dangerous gamble, given the administration we have in the White House right now?
Look, I mean, if we help embolden the actual critics of the USMCA, such that the president doesn't think that he has the votes to pass it, and he decides to basically withdraw from the original NAFTA, then I think that hurts Canada. That'll be a mess, but it hurts Canada. So it's important to try to use this leverage to gain the supports that we can from the congressional people who want to pass the USMCA and want to have these tariffs lifted, but to do it in a way that doesn't actually blow up the whole system. So it's a tightrope.
All right, what other options do we have when it comes to removing these tariffs?
Well, I think the other option is to transfer them into quotas. That's always been the option, and to figure out what that level is. I still think that's where they're going to land. Personally, I think that's what the Mexican position really is. Canada so far has been saying, well, if we do what we did on autos in terms of the same threatened use of national security, which is to set the quota so high that it will never be used, then that's one way out. Clearly, that will not work for steel or aluminum. The Americans just won't go for that. So you're looking at a smaller number, some kind of a rolling average. I think the Mexicans will go for that. I think that's their actual real position. I don't think that's the Canadian position yet, but that probably, in my view, is the only way out of this.
You know, it seems tricky when they can't even agree on what to call the deal in the first place. It's amazing they've gotten as far as they have. Mark, thanks so much.
Thanks.